All right, so everyone, we have Coach Pitino here, and we're ready to get started. So if you have a question, please send it to me in the chat. We will get started tonight with Andy Greeter. Start us off, Andy.
Richard, you had a nice comeback in the second half to cut it to 6. What do you attribute the slow start to, just to start the game?
I don't know. We're not very good defensively. They were just beating us off the bounce. Liam was really hobbled with his sprained ankle. He tried to fight through it, but you could just tell he was really hurting. But they were just quicker to the basket than we were. And, we were not connected defensively at all. I thought we regrouped and we're obviously much better in the second half. And, that group helped us come back. Trey and Gabe and Jamal and Isaiah helped us come back when we needed it, to cut it to 6. So it was a great effort, but it was just obviously too little too late. That was too big of a lead in the first half.
Next, we will go over to Marcus Fuller.
Coach, talk about how close was it to Liam not playing tonight? And then also moving forward, you're going to need more, obviously, from your post beyond Liam. And how is Brandon's doing physically as well?
Yeah, Liam was really hobbled, and he kept saying he wanted to give it a go. And although he didn't play great, 18 minutes, he really fought hard. So, we're grateful for him trying to put the team first. Brandon was battling too, but with Liam kind of out and then Brandon in foul trouble, it was hard. But Isaiah took advantage, obviously, of some really good minutes, stepped up when we needed him to. I'm happy to see him going. We got to get him going. He's too talented of a player. Booth is hobbled with a little foot deal as well. But overall, it's just that slow start where they jumped us really got us.
Daniel House, over to you for the next one.
Hey, Richard, what was your overall assessment of the defensive communication and rotations tonight? Do you think that tightened up a little bit in that final stretch?
Thought it was better clearly in the second half. Held them to 28. First half was not great. Just some miscues and not communicating, but clearly better in the second half. But if you want to win in this league, you got to have 40 minutes of it.
Andy, back to you.
Who do you think kind of led the charge there in the second half for the comeback? Obviously, going down, but not, rolling over at that point. Who do you feel like kind of led that comeback for you guys?
Well, I think it was a collection of everybody, but guys coming off the bench, Jay is continuing to improve and get better. I think Trey is offensively playing with confidence. And then Isaiah, obviously, so that group there, those guys helped us go on a run. But, it's just, we cut it to 6. I think we got to stop. They got a rebound. They made it 3. And that really kind of broke our back.
AJ Condon, over to you.
Coach, can you talk about what it means to you to see some of your young guys come out and really play well when some of the older guys on more experience aren't really feeling their shot, and then Enan and Jamal really just stepped up?
Part of having a team, is you got to have a collection of guys ready. Injuries happen, not making shots happen. Everybody's got to be ready to go. And those guys stepped up, made some really big plays. So we didn't win, but hopefully that can get some, build some confidence for some of those young guys.
Marcus Fuller, back to you.
What does it do to your defense when you don't have that shot blocking presence? Because none of your bigs really have that rim protection.
Yeah, it's hard. And especially with Maryland, who does a really good job of driving, you need to have a presence there. And you could just tell Liam couldn't get off his feet and rotate and block some. So very, very challenging.
And I've not received any additional questions for Coach. So last call here for any final questions. Please pop one in the chat now. Marcus Fuller, back to you for the last one.
Just two games here versus Maryland, I think, are probably some of your worst offensive games. Is it anything particular that they do? I know the injuries made it worse tonight, but.
Well, obviously not having Liam, I thought our offense was better tonight than it was the first time we played them. Even our threes, I thought we got good looks, but Liam, I don't know exactly what he averages, but it's double figures. He was clearly hobbled. So when you take a guy like that out, Eric brings a lot of good things, but he's not a great scorer down there. So when you got a guy like Liam, who's, clearly not himself, that's a lot of points. So I thought we were better offensively than we were in the first game. But, when you take Liam out, it's hard with no low post threat.
All right, that's all we have for tonight, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'll resume here in just a few moments with the players. And for anyone who hopped on late, we'll have Gabe Kalscheur.
Sully, Jamal's here, so we'll slide him in right away, okay?
Fantastic. Thank you, Paul.
Yep. All right, Jamal's going to take a seat. We'll go ahead and get started, Sully.
All right. All right, so as Paul said, we'll start off with Jamal Mashburn today. We'll get started with questions just as soon as the first one comes in through the chat. Andy Greeter, start us off.
Jamal, what do you feel like was the issue kind of in the first half? Obviously, you started off watching, but what did you feel like was the struggle for you guys in the first half?
We just couldn't guard. They were getting wherever they wanted, and we gave up 44 points in the first half, which is it's hard to win and come back in the second half, especially giving up that many points. So we just had to take more pride in the defensive end. So I think that was what our main issue was in the first half.
Marcus Fuller, over to you.
Jamal, I know obviously you had some shots in the second half from distance, but when you don't have that inside presence to score like Liam, how much pressure does that put on the guys to hit jumpers and try to get it going that way?
It shouldn't be no pressure at all. All our guys get in the gym and, we work on our shots. I know our percentages is, relatively low, but, we always, preach just shooting with confidence and, with Liam, not being, fully ready to go, and that hurts us having that interior presence. But, guys just being confident and ready to knock down shots.
Next question will come from Daniel House.
Hey, Jamal, what do you think was the biggest difference defensively in that final stretch you were able to pull back within 9?
Sense of urgency. Sense of urgency was there just because, it was late clock and we had to have a sense of urgency or we're going to get blown out. So, but that just has to be from the jump, from tip off. So just having that sense of urgency for a full 40 minutes.
And again, I haven't received any additional questions for Jamal. So if you have any last questions, please pop them in the chat at this time. Marcus, we'll go back to you.
What did you see, Jamal, from Isaiah and the confidence that he had shooting the ball and then obviously helping out inside?
Yeah, Isaiah's a great player. He's once he has his confidence and, he's talking to people and just going, not thinking, he's a terrific player. He has, that's one of my guys. So, he's great. He's great. We need that every night from him. So moving forward.
I have not received any additional questions for Jamal, so I'll assume that's it for tonight. So Jamal, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And Gabe Kalscheur is here and ready to go, so we'll get started here in just a second.
You need a water, Jamal, take. All right, Sully, Gabe coming over.
Perfect. All right, so as Paul said, we'll wrap up tonight. Gabe Kalscheur. As soon as questions roll in, we'll get started. Looks like we'll start off tonight with Andy Greeter.
Gabe, as you guys have struggled on the road previously, you guys have talked about trying to put together a 40-minute game. How frustrating is it to see the start that you guys have where it wasn't there defensively at the start?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Like we said, we needed to put together a 40-minute game. We didn't do that. We came out slow. Defensive-wise, we just weren't on the same page. I made a lot of tough shots, a lot of wide open shots, which the defense that was on us. But I feel like the offense, the second half, we picked it up. We were communicating more, and I think we just need to do that for 40 minutes, and we could have won the game.
Next, we'll go over to Marcus Fuller.
Gabe, there's no moral victories, but when you see younger guys play the way they did in the second half, especially Jamal. What does that mean moving forward to try to get some of the a road win?
I mean, it's a lot. It gives them confidence. It gives them a chip on their shoulder that they belong here and then that they know what it takes to get a win in the Big Ten, especially on the road. So seeing Jamal, Isaiah, Trey step up in the first and second half was big.
Daniel House, over to you.
Hey, Gabe, how difficult was it to attack and get penetration against their guards and that length they have on the perimeter?
I mean, it was tough. I mean, they're lanky, they're long, but I mean, for practice, we worked on penetrating the defense and kicking it out. But I mean, it's just when you get into the game scenario, mine takes over sometimes and doesn't really go as planned. So we just got to get better and get better with our flowing offense.
Again, if you have any final question requests for Gabe, please toss them in the chat at this time. Marcus, back over to you again.
Gabe, you guys really don't know when Liam or Brandon are going to be fully healthy. I mean, they're playing through different ailments. You know, like what do you need from the front court moving forward to just try to help you moving forward with Isaiah as well playing well?
I mean, all starts on defense end. We got to do little things, bump the roll guy higher, not cheat screens where they bump back and hit a three, stay on our man, talk more. So it's just the little things. I mean, those big guys, Brandon and Liam with the injuries, it's a big piece we're missing. But I mean, we're a team. I mean, we're gonna have each other's back, pick up the loose ends. Not the loose ends, but pick up the people who are the fellas that aren't 100%. But yeah, I mean, we're a team. We're a family, so we just gotta pick it up on the defense end for sure.
The last question tonight will come from Daniel House.
Do you feel like a lack of communication on defense was a big factor in the first half and it got a little bit better in that final stretch?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we saw them hitting shots. I feel like the energy of them hitting tough shots and shots that we knew that the defense was letting happen. Maybe put out our energy on the defense end. So we just got to talk more and keep that communication and that energy up.
All right, that was all for tonight, Gabe. Have a good night. Thank you for your time. Same to everyone else. Enjoy your Sunday evening.
Thanks, Ollie.
See you, Andy.
Thank you.